Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Conceptual Genetics and Breeding. So in today's video we are going to discuss about pre-Mendelian concepts of heredity. We have already discussed about Mendel's laws of inheritance or heredity. We all know that Mendel has given us the laws. The characters follow these laws for when they are inherited from one generation to another generation. But before Mendel, there were some concepts which were given by various scientists, and they were basically for the how the characters are built and transfer from one generation to another generation, or we can say from parental generation to their offspring generation. So pre-Mendelian concepts they were basically for the study of heredity and variation, and they also described about the transmission, expression and evolution of genes, the molecules that control the function and development, which ultimately resulted into the appearance of the individuals. Okay, so basically the genes are responsible for the characters, for the development of characters in different individuals. Okay, either it is in plants or it is in animals or humans. Okay, and the genes they only transmit from one generation to another generation. Okay, so a number of view for inheritance they were put forward prior to Mendel. Okay, we have already said that many theories have been given from before Mendel experimented and gave us the laws of inheritance. Okay, which are actually followed by the characters when they transmitted from one generation to another generation. But many theories have been given prior to Mendel's laws. Okay, so these theories are known as basically the blending inheritance. Okay, as these all theories they believe that the characters from parents they blended or got mixed during their transmission to the offspring. Okay, the meaning of this blending inheritance is that the some characters are come from maternal side, means mother side. Okay, and some characters are come from paternal side, means the father side. Okay, and they mix together in the children's, okay, or the offsprings. So that's why this is known as blending inheritance. All theories, mostly the previous theories, they follow this blending inheritance. Okay, so first theory which was given for this inheritance, okay, it was moist vapor theory. This moist vapor theory it was given by Pythagoras in 1580 to 500 BC. Okay, and he said that the male body produced some sort of a moist vapor during coitus, which helped in the development of body parts of the embryo. Okay, so Pythagoras said that in male body some moist vapor type of thing produced, okay, during intercourse or coitus, and this moist vapor this produced it will resulted into the body parts of the embryo. Okay, and in embryo which will be resulted after fertilization, we all know that the embryo develop after fertilization, and this moist vapor in the embryo it will form the body different body parts of that individual. Okay, so this theory is known as moist vapor theory, and it was given by Pythagoras. Okay, it was the first theory which was given by Pythagoras regarding this inheritance of the characters, means how the characters are transferred from parental generation to their children generation. Okay, so second theory which was given was fluid theory. Okay, this fluid theory it was given by Empedocles in 504 to 433 BC. Okay, it was this theory proposed that each body part produced a fluid. Okay, So when whether it these theories are basically concentrated on animals, okay, or humans. So he said that each body part of the human, it produced a fluid, okay, and this fluid of different body parts of the two parents, it will mixes up and is used in the formation of the embryo. So in individuals, when during intercourse, when they produced the body fluid, okay, means their each body part, it will produce a fluid. This fluid, from the mother side it will come, and from the father side it will also come, and it will come into the embryo. And in this embryo, it will this fluid will be used for the formation of different body parts, okay. So this theory is known as fluid theory. And if any defect will be there, it will be mixing up of the fluid. Due to mixing up of the fluid, maybe there will be any defect, okay, it will result in the missing of character of one parent or both the parent, okay. So he explained that why all the characters from parents, they don't go in their children, okay. So some new characters may also develop in the children. So he explained that maybe there is a defect in the fluid, okay, mixing up. When from mother side and from father side the fluid come, it will mix up in the children's, okay. So maybe there is any defect in the mixing. So this mixing defect will result into the missing of the characters, okay. So he explained that that's why the characters, all the characters from parents, they don't transfer to their children's. Then next theory, which was given by Aristotle, is reproductive blood theory, okay. He proposed this theory 384 to 322 BC, and he said that the male parent, it will produce highly purified reproductive blood containing the nutrients from all body parts, okay. So in almost all the theories, the main concern was that all the parts of the body, they contribute in the reproduction, okay. They didn't say that any reproductive system is there in the body and it will only contribute in the reproduction and the further embryo formation. They all concentrated that all the body part, they somehow contribute in the reproduction. So that's why this Aristotle, he said that the male parent, okay, the paternal side, it produced highly purified reproductive blood containing the nutrients from all body parts, okay. And female, it will also produce reproductive blood, but this is impure, okay. He said that from male side it will be pure and from female side it will be impure. And these two reproductive blood, they coagulate in the body of the female and form the embryo, okay. So after fertilization in the female body, these two blood, they will be mixing up and they will form the embryo. And due to the purity of reproductive blood, the contribution of the characters by the male is more than the female. So he explained that the characters in the children's, they will come more from male side and less from female side, okay. Why? He said that the reproductive blood, it is pure in the male and it is impure in the female. So because of the purity of the reproductive blood, the characters from father side, it will more come, okay, they will be more in the children's as compared to their mothers. So this is the reproductive blood theory. And next theory which was given is preformation theory, okay. So this pre-formation theory, this theory believe that the organism is already present, that is pre-formed in the sperm or egg in a miniature form called homunculus. Okay, so he said that in each this either in the male it will be the gamete will be sperm, okay, or in the female gamete is egg. So either in the sperm or in the egg, this already a miniature form of our body is present, okay. So it will only be it will take after fertilization, embryo will form, it will be grow only, okay. All the body parts are present in the sperm only or egg only, okay. So that's why it is known as pre-formation theory, because suppose this is a sperm, okay, the male gamete, the miniature form of the child, it will form already present in the sperm, okay, and this miniature form is known as homunculus. So homunculus is present in each and every this male gamete or female gamete, means a sperm or egg. So fertilization is required to stimulate its growth, okay. So after fertilization its growth will stimulate and it will start growing in the female body. So that's why it is known as pre-formation theory. And sperms were because this pre-formation theory it was given after the sperms discovery, okay. So sperms were observed for the first time by Leeuwenhoek in 1672, and this theory was given by Swammerdam in 1679. So because till that time sperms were already discovered by Leeuwenhoek, so he used this scientist Swammerdam, he used this information and he thought that maybe a miniature form is already present in the gametes, okay, in the male gamete or in the female gamete. So this theory, this pre-formation theory, it was supported by a number of workers of that period, okay. At that time many workers supported this theory, like many other scientists also they supported this theory, like it was accepted by the scientist of that time, okay. And this was, but this theory, this pre-formation theory, you can see here in this pre-formation theory, he said that a miniature form is already present, okay. Now, suppose this is the head of the sperm and this is the tail of the sperm. In the head the miniature form of a child it is already present, okay. But this theory it was discarded by Wolf, and this scientist Wolf, he suggested that organs are formed step by step, and this is the theory of epigenesis. So next theory which was given, it was this theory of epigenesis, and in our next video we will discuss about this theory of epigenesis. So thank you so much.